Hello everyone. If you watched the previous episode, you know how I said that I would assemble the engine again in this video. Well, the Volvo project keeps getting more and more out of control, and if the engine is already out, I might as well remove the cylinder head, and if I remove the head, I might as well rebuild it. Now I will be porting, resurfacing and replacing the valve springs. This all in all should make the head capable about around 8000 RPM. But the goal isn't to drive this engine at 8000 RPM, but I want the cylinder to be capable of it. Realistically, I'll probably keep the rev limit at around 7000 RPM. But building the head stronger than I need gives me a bit of a safety margin. Now when removing the head, you want to use the correct bolt removal pattern. That's important because the head is under a lot of tension, and if you just loosen the bolts randomly, you risk warping it. You also want to follow a specific pattern when removing the camshaft caps as well, just to avoid damaging anything or warping anything. And then I go ahead and remove the lifters with a magnet. You want to remember which order you remove the lifters in, since it matters when putting them back in. And then it was time to move the head over to the local machine shop, where the springs and valves and everything else will get removed. As expected, the valves were in pretty rough shape after almost 500,000 kilometers, but they will get re-lapped and they will be fine to use again. And then it is time to port and resurface the head. The 530 head is quite restrictive here in the valve area on both the exhaust and intake side, and they should look a bit something like this when they are done. There's a lot more area to flow, and there's not any rough edges that the air can get stuck on. Now here on the exhaust side, on the stock 530 head, the exhaust almost hits a flat plane which I smoothed out. Then it's time to resurface the head, so the head gasket has a perfect seal later on. This is just a process of removing a tiny layer of the head so it's completely smooth and flat. And then it's time to assemble everything again with the new springs and the cleaned up valves and everything else. And now the head is finally back into the garage, but unfortunately I noticed something, and that is that I have the smaller retainers, they're 27.5mm. So I bought these new bigger retainers, and these should hold the springs better at 8000 RPM. So it's back to the machine shop.
One eternity later.
Finally, the head is ready to be assembled again, but before that I need to make sure that it's fully cleaned out and there are no metal shavings from the porting left in the engine. So I'll be giving a good pressure wash, making sure to get all the small nook and crannies, and then it's time to assemble. When assembling, I unfortunately didn't have any assembly lube, so I just used normal engine oil. That should be fine since I'm going to be priming the oil before starting the car again. These caps are to be torqued to 20 Newton and it spins around just fine.